On April 16th, for 7 glorious days, MapleStory Classic closed beta was open to a select few. I was so hyped. I even made a playlist. But the Deep State Shadow Operatives, locally known as the Bot Collective, had other intentions. Needless to say, I didn't get in. So, instead of wasting a week of my life playing MapleStory Classic, I'm wasting weeks of my life playing the closest legal version I can find, and making a video about it. This is the MapleStory Classic-ish server on MapleStory Worlds, ChronoStory. But even before that, it's time for hair selection montage. Looks good. Every young boy or fat middle-aged man at some point in their lives has came to this very moment, choosing a class. We all know the basics. Warriors are chads but suffer from a short stature and a bruised ego. Thieves are trend chasers and outcasts. Pirates are daddy's special little class. Archers are mid at everything and generally just boring. And mages have brittle bone disease and are addicted to chugging potions. I decided to let dopamine do the choosing. I was fiending to click on that little dice, and with pure skill and determination, somehow on my first roll, I got 12 int. At that instance, my fate was sealed. The way of the wizard was chosen for me by a 23-year-old game mechanic. All that is left is choosing a name that will let people know who they're dealing with. Yeah. My journey begins. Something is wrong. I'm naked and rocking a sick Edgar. Unfortunately, this is ChronoStory, not Chonostory. In the midst of my excitement, I forgot to buy the hair. At this point, I had enough and decided that decision fatigue has won again. I will be flexing the Baldy locks. Thanks to my immaculate skills as a premium content creator, I forgot to record Tutorial Island and getting the Magician job advancement. Yes, unfortunately, I am that stupid. Beat 'em up, guys! So, before me laid two options. Admit defeat, make a new character, and lose another hour of my life. Or just move on. Anyway, turns out I have the mark of the alpha. Very appropriate. And it totally doesn't make my character look like he has some kind of illness. The best part about being a magic user is not using magic until level 13, because I have to max MP first. Nice. I had my first encounter with a boss, helped Black Bull with his house, for monetary gain of course, got some fresh swag, and started my pilgrimage, that is the dreaded 999 quest. Let me explain some things. ChronoStory isn't your daddy's old school MapleStory. It's closer to a private server, with NX items being sold by NPCs, pets from ASOS, and this beautiful free market area you can just teleport to from anywhere and sell your items. So convenient. The more noticeable changes are the rates, some odd balancing. there is no trading. You can exchange scroll vouchers for scrolls. Equipment is very busted. Everything else you have to farm. And speaking of farming, call me a millenarian, cause I'm killing them by the thousands. 1,000 green mushrooms, 1,000 horny mushrooms, and 1,000 zombie mushrooms. 3 times quest EXP sure is great. I'm already level 30, and I have a decision of utmost importance. Would I be a humble priest? Or maybe a fire piss mage? Nah, the inner schizoid in me always knew I need to go ice lightning. Going back to the grind set. 1,000 yellow freaks, 1,000 green freaks, 1,000 cold freaks. Skeledogs with this distinguished gentleman, 1,000 dark freaks, and 1,000 drakes with Bish. After all that, I decided to try scrolling the cool new staff I got. I also finished the classic Icarus Cape quest. The best part was when I had to get alligator sacks. Why are there 2 sacks on the icon? I got disappointed by the cape. I really wanted the speed one. At this point, I moved to Cillian's. While I'm stuck here, let me explain some things. Ice lightning and fire poison have a unique problem. Their attacks are elemental based. That means if a monster is weak to it, like Celions are to ice, you do 50% more damage. But if they are strong against it, you do 50% less. This restricts what you can train on. In a normal server, this is a classic Nexon pay us moment. But here, we have this lovely bloke, named Cody, who sells an assortment of goods and services, such as ability and skill resets, gacha tickets, we'll get to those, EXP loss prevention charms, very important, smegma, teleport rocks, and scroll vouchers. Look, I'm level 50. What do you want from me? Party? Boom, party hat. After asserting my dominance over Surfy, it dawned on me that defense is not an imaginary stat and I should probably get more. So I scrolled my overall. While celebrating with the AFK buff mules, it hit me that every one successful, good scrolled item, there must be at least 3 bad ones. Alright, well, that was just a panlet. Fuck, that was a perfect Esther shield. Ah man, this one's mid as fuck. After getting disappointed by statistics, like it's 8th grade all over again, I remembered that I can get a free pet. Epic gamer moment. Remember that big snail from way back? Well, I don't forgive, and I don't forget. That was fast. While taking my new snail pet on a test drive, I got blessed with an absolute premium soprano reference, triggering the annual rewatch. Thank you, Bronk. You did have the making of a varsity athlete. At this point, I decided that 8,700 cargoes is quite enough, and I should move on to red hot golems. Why, you ask? Well, because they are weak to fire. Drop glove for attack 60s and drop the penultimate mage weapon, the Evil Wings. And speaking of Evil Wings, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. However, I've grown tired of golems. 10k is also quite enough. So I decided to move on to my next target, Blood Harpies. I forgot to wear my shiny new weapon and wasted potentially hours of my life. Awesome. And I also reached level 70. You know what that means. Job advancement time. A part of the job advancement quest is I need to answer some MapleStory trivia. That's damn, that's well, I never claimed to be educated. There is a reason I'm roleplaying as a high intellect mage. But thanks to AI, I can get my third job. Intelligence is no longer gatekept. That meant I could do something that I always wanted. Helping new players with their 999 quest. Then it's business as usual. Scrolling attempts that end up exploding. And the final boss of the dreaded 999 quests, Pin Booms. I mean, just look at this shit. But Ice Blast is pretty dope. At this stage of the game, it's pretty much just grinding and scrolling. Killing bonefish, scrolling a shield. Killing squids, helping a newbie with zombie mushrooms, scrolling an overall. Killing sharks until level 107, then we ride to Omega Sector. This is the final stretch, the last bit of content, getting my unwelcome guest weapon. Ignoring the similarities to what my family calls me, you have to do like 5 kill quests. I also helped Bish. Remember him from like way earlier? I spent all the gacha tickets that I accumulated, plus a few more, because I like rounded numbers. Still didn't get the only thing I wanted. I guess the house really does always win. Now it's time to kill the final boss, Xenomega, the hardest boss currently in the game. And of course, my weak ass could not solo it. But because I have hidden boomer knowledge, I get to summon another boomer to aid me. After that, it's a matter of getting a few BIS items that provide negligible bonuses. A ring, ooh, it gives me 1 int. Oh, so good. I have to assemble a party and kill a giant fish for half a day to get it. Oh, it's so worth it. Instead, I returned to Sharks to get level 110, a nice, clean number. So, what is left? Make an ult and give my verdict. This is my ult, Lauren Boozer. After all the grinding, the suffering, and the dreaded 999 quests, I think I can finally give this game a proper review. In terms of how the game is designed, its pacing, and the changes, I think this server deserves a strong 7 exploding items out of 10. Where did my items go? Where are my items? My grievances are mainly the lack of content, extremely weird balancing, like why do I need 15 minutes beginner speed buff with no cooldown, and monsters dropping speed demon candy on the regular? Just look at this 4th job archer skill. Isn't that crazy? Kind of feels like modern MapleStory. This is the part where I get real close to the mic and speak my truth. On a personal enjoyment metric, ChronoStory gets a 2 out of 10. Now hear me out. The trade restrictions really killed it for me. MMOs are about making money, getting that big drop, farming scrolls so I can sell them to buy a new weapon. The constant drip feed of progression really isn't my cup of tea. I like being waterboarded with dopamine every once in a while. I know, I have some unresolved issues. Feel free to leave a comment saying I'm stupid and wrong. Or, if you like to see more of these MMO review type videos, subscribe so I can tell my family I am not a disappointment and I am welcomed in my own house. And ring that bell notification for some god-awful reason. I'm out.